Akron Athletics presents Zips Weekly with Joe Moorhead. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and Akron Hilton Fairlawn. And now your host, Joe Dunn.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Zips Weekly with head football coach Joe Moorhead. Well, another tough loss. This one up at Central Michigan on Saturday afternoon, 17-10 to the Chippewas. And now the Zips are right back in the Mid-American Conference Saturday afternoon up at Bowling Green. That'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff against the Falcons. Then Akron will be back home on Wednesday night, November 1st, for the annual Battle of the Wagon Wheel against Kent State. And Coach, I think this is the fourth time we've gone into that final quarter with a chance to win a football game, and I know you're frustrated and the players are frustrated.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I know it sounds like a broken record, but got into the fourth quarter with a chance to win the game and weren't able to finish it. So, we got to find a way to get that done.
And we talk about the conditions during the football game and the wind. I looked at the flags before the game, Coach, and I knew that wind was definitely going to play a factor. Yeah,
the rain kind of blew through, but the winds remained constant and aided a 58-yard field goal by their guy. But yeah, it was certainly something that played a factor in the game.
Yeah, I talked to you after that game about that 58-yarder, and I don't think he kicks that unless they have that advantage of the wind. It's not going to get it there.
Yeah, absolutely not. He had missed two earlier in the game, and thought we had him pushed back out of range. And to the kid's credit, he stepped up and knocked it through.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, let's go back up to Mount Pleasant, Michigan. On Saturday, Mid-American Conference football. Weather cleared a little bit, and the Chips, they win the toss, Coach, and they want the football.
Yep, they elected to receive and put our defense out there first.
And the Zip defense plays well. We're going to force them into a long field goal attempt, which is wide left, and the game is scoreless for a lot of that football game in the first half anyway.
Yeah, first drive we did a nice job stopping the run. Let the quarterback get out a little bit, lost contain, and kept them to a field goal. A little bit of a bend but don't break, but they did a nice job.
Here's Taj Bullock is going to break contain and get a pretty good run. And the defense, we're going to talk about the defense a lot today because they just played lights out again. They were down. You got down 17-3, Coach, and they kept you to the football game then.
Yeah, did an excellent job, 2.7 yards per carry. Limited the explosive plays to, I think, 3 or 4. Were able to get off the field on third down and just did a really nice job throughout the course of the game.
Seems like that defense just loves to play football. They are really tough. Here's the interception by Nelson. He steps in front of the receiver and brings it back. We're going to watch this again from the ground level.
Yeah, his second of the season. Devontae's done a nice job coming in from Memphis and, really challenged our defensive guys this week. Coach Tibesar and his staff did an excellent job, coming back to our style of play from a physicality and execution standpoint, and they answered the bell.
Going to get that ball out to Drake Anderson, who has a good burst, and now it's going to be a 40-yard field goal by Noah Perez, who's back on the field kicking field goals for you.
Yes, he did a nice job, hit his field goal attempt, hit his extra point, earned the right during the week, so that was definitely a positive.
Good pursuit there by the left side of that Akron defense.
Yeah, you saw Antavius Fish played his best game so far, and Darian Lewis had a very productive day. So, a bunch of guys at the first, second, or third level swarming the football and, getting it on the ground. There's Fish again.
I think Darian Lewis had like 14 tackles in that game to lead everybody. And again, that defense converging right there, again from ground to level. We're going to watch the pursuit right here.
Yeah, CJ, Devon, and Bennett did a really nice job rushing the passer.
Zips leading now, right now, 3-0, and they're going to continue to lead until late in the first half.
Yep, continuing to see real good run defense there. Secondary support, corners coming up, safety's fitting the right way. And KJ comes out with a big interception.
That ball was tipped, and then he picked it up and came the other way. And I think that's at least 2 he's had this year.
Yeah, Coach Tibesar always talks about that, and Coach Renna and Coach Bell tips and overthrows lead to interceptions. So, yeah, you saw one there, tip ball, and KJ in a great position. Did a good job trying to bring it back to our bench, which is what they're coached, and, got them out of field goal range.
Lingard this is Taj Bullock, who breaks contain again and takes it all the way down the field. We're going to watch it again from ground level. He can do a lot of this.
Yeah, good quarterback draw, use his feet, and got us a good explosive play.
Again, good defense there by the Zips.
Yeah, you saw Judd break up on that quick game throw there, and Judd had his best game here so far as well.
Yeah, their quarterback was a big kid, about 6'3" and about 225 pounds. And once he squares those shoulders, he's tough to bring down.
Yeah, he was elusive.
Out to Daniel George, I think, for a nice pickup.
Yeah, trying to move the pocket. Did a good job closing down on Bobby there and got the ball to DG on the big over out there.
Halfway through this second quarter, and the Zips still leading Central Michigan 3-0. Darian Lewis again with one of his 14 tackles.
Yeah, there's Judd coming up again to run support. Corners did a much better job on the crack replace stuff, things that hit us a little bit at Northern Illinois. It was good to see us kind of come back and fix some of those mistakes.
Got a quick look at Lingard with the carry. Now the Zips back on defense, and this will be Central's final possession. I thought we had them stopped, Coach. I thought we pushed them out far enough they weren't going to try anything.
Yeah, took the penalty on the 1st and 10 to try to knock him back, and thought we got him out of range there, and brought the kid out, and he was good from 58. Not much you could do there.
Yeah, that wind pushed that one additional 5 or 10 yards. And taking a look back at that first quarter, we only had 2 possessions, I think, in the first quarter.
Yeah, we were a little bit of bend but don't break on defense.
Yeah.
I think the time of possession at the end of the first half was 20 to 10 or a little bit more than that. So there were a limited number of possessions on offense, and I think with the new rule with the clock not stopping after first downs has cut down possessions, for probably about 2 to 4 per game.
Yeah, they converted a lot third downs. And I think in the second half we slowed them down a little bit. In that first half, seems like they were converting a lot of third downs.
Yeah, on the one field goal drive, I think there were 3 third down conversions where we could have got off the field, and we talked about that. But yeah, they did a good job in the first half on third down.
Exactly. We are tied at the half of Mount Pleasant, the Zips 3, Central Michigan 3. We're going to take a break and come back and look at second half highlights right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go!
Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly with head football coach Joe Moorhead. You're watching highlights from Saturday's game up at Central Michigan. We are tied right now, 3-3. And Coach, second half, I think we're going to get to football to start the second half.
Yeah, we are. It was a little bit of a pitcher's duel, defensive struggle. It seems that defense is making a resurgence in college football this year with the rule changes and seeing some lower scoring games. So knew the defense was playing well, and knew we had 30 minutes to try to win this thing.
Okay, let's go back up and catch highlights up at Central Michigan. It's homecoming up there, weather not conducive for a lot of tailgating, but they were out supporting their Chippewas, and the Zips are going to get right back in this football game. But, Coach, you take a look at early in that third quarter. That's when things really got out of hand.
Yeah, we had a 3-and-out, had a nice completion there to Josiah, but we threw the interception, gave the defense a short field, and they were able to capitalize and tie that thing up.
Zips again on defense and continue to make big play after big play. Again, Darian Lewis coming in, number 24. You're going to see him right there. Plays off that block well, Coach, and makes the tackle.
Yeah, you mentioned his game high 14 tackles and really did a nice job during the week. Saw him in watching extra film, and it paid off with his performance on Saturday.
They try and run that bubble screen, and we defend that pretty well.
Yeah, they hit us on it early in the second half, and then made an adjustment, got out there and got it shut down.
Here's to that big quarterback becomes dangerous down near the goal line, Coach, because he's a load, but we defend him pretty well. Again, Darian Lewis on the tackle.
Yeah, they were running some of that lead stuff to out of unbalanced formation, and we made some good adjustments there, and we were able to hold them to 3.
I'll tell you, if Callender turns around, that may be a pick right there in the end zone.
Yes, sir.
Zips down 17-3, but we're going to watch highlights and watch them come back. Undercuffler in there right now at quarterback, hitting Daniel George over the middle.
Yeah, made the change. Put Jeff in there, and got a little bit more downhill with our run game. I think Lorenzo averaged 7 yards per carry in the second half, and we're able to spread the ball out to some of the receivers, and we're really able to find a little bit of rhythm in the second half. In a limited number of possessions.
There's Lingard again, and this is going to be, I think, the touchdown pass into the corner of the end zone. That is a great throw because there was a lot of coverage out there.
Yeah, and it was great to get Alex back. 2 games, with the injury in the lower body, and our most explosive offensive weapon, and good to have him back and catch a touchdown pass.
After the extra point, the Zips are right back in this football game, 17-10. He got the entire fourth quarter to try and win it.
Yep, defense did a great job of holding them out of the end zone and keeping it a 1-score game. I think we ended up getting 2 possessions, 1 in good field position, and then 2 of them backed up, and just weren't able to put that thing in the end zone and tie it up.
Seemed like after that touchdown pass, the defense turned it up a notch, knowing if they can get the football back, they got a chance to win the game.
Yeah, kept telling them one more series, and they were doing a nice job.
Zip defense again, slowing down their quarterback who loves to run the football. Here comes the pressure again.
They tried to screen, Lama runs that thing down, and then once again, Darian Lewis again on the tackle.
Didn't have real good field position in that fourth quarter.
Nah, we were backed up inside the 10 twice, and had a long way to go, and that's tough under normal circumstances, let alone into the wind. With against a pretty good defense.
Zips trying to get Central off the field, trying to get that football back in the fourth quarter. They're going to see a great play coming up here from Corey Thomas.
Yeah, had it bottled up. CJ got to make the tackle there, and it's down at the 45. Give up, contain, and then Corey does an unbelievable hustle play here. Running that thing down from the backside, sweeping the leg, forcing them to punt.
Now you mentioned moving him from defensive end to safety was a great move.
Yeah, good for the team and good for the kid. For obviously college and hopefully beyond.
Now this is our final possession. We're trying to get it up and get into the end zone and send it into overtime, and we're trying to hit some short passes and break somebody loose.
Yeah, hit TJ a couple times, got it up to the 40, near the 45 there, and just weren't able to push it past that. They covered down a little bit and took a couple checkdowns, and just weren't able to push the ball down the field.
Yeah, there's the final play. The Zips on the short end of a 17-10 loss to Central Michigan. Again, Coach, frustrating, and I know it's tough on the players because they've been really giving you 100% just about every game this year.
Yeah, not just that, but I mean it's, we're just so dang competitive and have the opportunity and talked about as a team last night, equal parts of frustration and anger, and it's different than coming out and you're not getting your doors blown off every single game.
Yeah.
So there's a different type of frustration knowing that you have the opportunity to 4 1-score games this year and a bunch last year. So we've just got to, as a coaching staff and as a team, got to figure out a way to get this thing closed out in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, people that haven't watched the team this year, aren't familiar with the program, they take a look at their record, Coach, and they don't really see the tremendous improvement I've seen from last year to this year.
Yeah, and those are the steps. Unfortunately, they're the journeys. It's long, it's steep, and it's difficult to build a winning program that's sustainable. And part of that is, unfortunately, you're going to suffer some close losses until you don't learn how to win until you win. So
exactly.
we got to take a program that's historically been losing for a very long time and teach them how to win, and that's not something that's undone immediately. So we've taught them how to compete. We put them in position and got to that point, but we just got to get over that dang hump.
And hopefully that'll start this Saturday up at Bowling Green. We'll talk about the Falcons a little bit later in the program. We're going to take a break, come back and get some comments from the coach on some individual performances this past week up at Central Michigan.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
Here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go!
Well, each week at this time, we ask the coach about his evaluation of some of the performances. This time up at Central Michigan on Saturday, a tough loss, but there were some players that played exceptionally good football. And you brought Jeff Undercuffler off the bench, Coach, and I thought he gave the offense a little bit of a spark when he got in there.
He did, and unfortunately, Todd struggled a little bit, and wasn't seeing some things, had some bad reads, some errant throws, and just felt like Jeff was going to provide a spark that we needed, and did that. Came in and led a touchdown drive.
Yeah.
And did that earlier in the season against Morgan State. So it was good to see him come in, drop back, have some confidence, and get the ball to the open receivers.
Yeah, the one thing I mentioned on the radio side is you're a former quarterback. I think quarterbacks can play maybe a little bit in the rain, can play a little bit when it's cold. That wind can mess with your mind a little bit.
Yeah, you got to throw a tight spiral.
Yeah.
If it's a loose ball, that thing's going to get taken one way or the other. But Jeff did a pretty good job under the conditions.
Yeah, he was 10 out of 16. A good performance with a touchdown pass to Alex Adams, which brings up our next player, Alex Adams. Boy, it's great to have him back. He is a deep threat. You need him in there.
He was, and we want to ease him into it a little bit. Probably only gave him about 50% of the reps that he usually gets, just because we, didn't want to have him have a setback. But showed you what he's able to do with the ball in his hands.
Exactly. We talked a lot on the replay about Darian Lewis, led the Zips with 14 tackles, a young kid out of St. Vincent St. Mary High School, was a basketball player, very good athlete, and he just continues to get better. Not real big, but he gets in and gets his nose in there for those tackles.
Yeah, had a great week of preparation, lived in the meeting room, was really on top of that, and Coach did a great job. Renna did a great job providing the information, and then they say practice habits are game reality. So he carried what he did onto the field during the week, onto game day, and resulted in his best performance as a Zip.
Yeah. Every week we talk about Akron's linebackers, Antavius Fish and Brian McCoy, and they combined, I think, for 22 tackles up at Central Michigan, and they are about the same size, about 235, and they can run.
Yeah, that's a tandem right now that's playing a high level of football. I think Antavius had close to 13 or 14 tackles again, and Brian is just all over the place. They stop the run, they rush the passer, they do a good job communicating the fronts and the coverages, and just two guys that are playing very well this year, and we're excited to have back for another season.
You've mentioned a couple times we've got to get more players like C.J. Nunnally. He's come out of junior college and taken over that defensive end slot. Boy, I'd love to get a few more like him.
Yeah, instant impact player, and then he, Antonio Smith, and LaJoshua Jackson are doing a nice job. Kabosh Richards is a guy that was injured earlier in the year, and we're trying to get him ramped up. And then another guy that's gotten a little bit of time, Cam Cheatham. Once he puts some size on, I think it's going to be very good. And then Marcus Moore, another young guy from out of Massillon, came in and had a nice game in his first extended action. Yeah,
Cam's a young kid out of Pittsburgh. You know that area very well, and that's been very good for Zips getting football players out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we consider that a local area.
Sure.
Brashear High School, have produced a lot of great players over the year, and we think Cam's going to have a really bright future here.
Noah Perez won the kicking competition last week. Looks like he's number one right now, and he delivered with a 40-yard field goal.
40-yard field goal, hit an extra point, and would like to see that continue.
Yes.
So I know it's a topic that we discuss every week, but to me, I'd prefer not to talk about it, that someone continues to take the job and hold it. So it was good to see him gain some confidence.
Talked about the Pittsburgh area. How about Corey Thomas? We saw a great play from Corey Thomas running down a ball carrier on an open field tackle out of Penn Hills High School. Good size at 6'4". He may be able to play at the next level.
Yeah, he's got the tools. Got to continue to work and get a little stronger. Work on his run support, but certainly in terms of length and athleticism and coverage skill, he and Noel Roach, two guys from Penn Hills, my hometown. We're really excited about Corey's development, and want him to finish off the season strong, and then certainly coming back for another year.
We had the turnover tire on the head of a couple defensive backs, K.J. Martin and Devontae Golden Nelson with 2 picks.
Yeah, just I think great utilization of the portal. KJ coming in from West Virginia, and Devontae's a guy that we had recruited at Mississippi State and then ended up at Memphis. So, those are the kind of guys that have college experience at a high level, and you're able to bring them in and see them produce on Saturdays.
What about the depth in the secondary, Coach? I know you got a few young defensive backs. How do they look to you?
Good. Obviously, we have kind of a 4-person rotation at corner between Tyson Durant, Judd, Joey Hunter, and then Devontae. So doing a real nice job there. And between KJ, Nate, D-Lou, and Corey, seeing a nice rotation at the safety positions as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, we're going to take a break. As we've said a few times, the Zips are right back on the road Saturday afternoon up at Bowling Green. 2 o'clock kickoff against the Falcons. We're about the Scouting Report right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
Here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing.
Here we go now. Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to segment 4, which is always the Scouting Report. It's brought to you each week by the Hilton Akron Fairlawn Hotel. This week we're going to talk about Bowling Green as the Zips go up to Dwight Perry Stadium for a 2 o'clock kickoff, another big Mid-American Conference game, and they're coming off a big road win against Buffalo, 24-14, Coach.
Big game. Obviously, the challenge of their offense is their multiplicity.
Yeah.
A lot of personnel groupings, a lot of formations, shifts and motions, kind of a pro-style mentality, and really run the ball at you behind a very big offensive line, 6'5 plus, all over 300 pounds, and then a very aggressive and opportunistic defense. I believe created 5 turnovers against Buffalo, including 2 pick sixes. So, Coach Leffer and his staff always do a nice job, having their guys prepared, and they're always well coached.
Yeah, they were up 24-7 at halftime and then hung on for that 24-14 win. They did not score in the second half, and I'm sure that's concerning them a little bit.
Yeah, they, Buffalo made the change at quarterback. They pulled the Snyder kid and put the other guy in, and just weren't able to get much more generated. But yeah, they jumped up big. Were the beneficiary of 2 defensive touchdowns, and were able to hold on.
I'm not sure what the weather was like up at Buffalo, but looking at the stats the other night, they only ran the ball 16 times against Buffalo. 16
times?
Yeah.
And I know there wasn't a ton of pass attempts either, so it might have been kind of like ours, one of those limited possession games with a bunch of runs, and both teams, said another pitcher's duel.
Yeah, I think they ran for 218 yards against Buffalo, and the running back by the name of Tyrion Stewart ran for 123. So he's another big running back, and their quarterback Orth ran for 72.
Yeah, they use him in the run game as well. Kind of a dual threat guy, and replaced the transfer kid from Missouri, but he's definitely a guy that could beat you with his arm and his legs. You
mentioned the Falcon defense. They intercepted 4 passes against Buffalo. I think they brought 2 back for touchdowns.
Yeah, 4 picks, 2 for touchdowns. Play a nice variety of coverages. Have a pretty exotic pressure package that they do out of 3 and 4 down fronts, and co-coordinators and those guys have done a nice job with the defense this year.
They had a big win early in the year down at Georgia Tech, 38-27. So they're a pretty good football team.
Yeah, went down there to ACC country, got up big, held on, and notched a very impressive Power 5 win.
You've been over to Bowling Green, Coach, and it is very flat over there in that part of Ohio, which means the wind, like it was at Central Michigan, could be another factor on Saturday.
Yeah, I remember going up there, and I think it was 5 or 6, and Luke threw a nice touchdown pass to Dominic Hickson. I think Omar Jacobs was their quarterback, and we were able to hold on. Late, but it was night game and cold, and the wind was whipping around. Definitely a challenging environment. And they have their home fans do a nice job, and it's a good college football setting.
You'll have a little bit of time to get ready for Kent State, which we'll talk about next week. But Coach, a lot of football left. Good luck up at Bowling Green on Saturday. Let's go up and get one.
Appreciate it. We're going to take it one at a time. Kids will keep competing, and eventually we're going to keep swinging this sledgehammer at the boulder, and it's going to split. May not be on the first hit or the 10th hit, but eventually it splits, and that's where we're taking this program.
For the coach, I'm Joe Dunn. Thanks for watching, and always remember, go Zips.
Thanks for watching Zips Weekly with Joe Moorhead. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and Akron Hilton Fairlawn. We'll see you next week. And as always, go Zips.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.